Happy Thursday. I don't know how it's Thursday again. My hat fell. This is my daddy's hat. Isn't it nice? I keep it with me. Um, my daddy. So, hi. Happy Thursday. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? I got my headphones in. I'm hoping you can hear me. So today we are talking about, I think, an extremely important conversation. And let's get right to it. So I guess let's get right to it after I say this. Thank you for following me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me into your life and your home. And thank you for hearing me out on some of these conversations. The flu shot one is a controversial one for certain, and not one I have with everyone. But so hopefully you guys are tuning in and, just want to learn more and want to see what I have to say about this, right? So as you guys know, because you've been following me, hopefully some of you are brand new. We've had lots of new followers over the last month for certain. So I have been practicing Chinese medicine. I have a master's of science degree in traditional Oriental medicine. That's a 4-year master's level degree. I'm an acupuncturist and a herbalist. Before I became an acupuncturist and a herbalist, I have an undergraduate degree in biology and chemistry, and then I was studying neuroscience en route to become a medical doctor. I did a lot of medical research for 2 years out at UCSD, my daddy's hat, and and I understand research very well, and I understand Western science very well. And I've also been practicing clinical practice as an acupuncturist for 15 years. Over those 15 years, I've treated thousands of clients, and I've also written 3 books. And so I have a shit ton of integrity, to be really honest. And I've done, again, a lot of research, and I understand the research. And if you guys don't have a lot of time, the quick answer to should I get a flu shot is no, absolutely not. You don't need it. It's overused, it's overprescribed, and it's under-supported. The research does not show that it's effective. There was just a huge study that came out in 2015 and does not show efficacy at all. In fact, it shows that there's this number that they use in Western research called number needed to treat, NNT. Number needed to treat, right, NNT. So how many people need to get the medication in order for us to see effectiveness? And so, for instance, a lot of antibiotics, it's 3 people need to be treated in order for us to see 1 effective case. So that's a very low NNT. That's what we want to achieve in research. The flu shot, 71 to 1. So that means 71 people have to get it in order for 1 person to see effectiveness. That's a crappy NNT and is not suitable whatsoever. The rest of the research shows it just doesn't work. The one thing you have to see about I'm jumping ahead in my notes. I have all these notes for you guys. I'm jumping ahead, is that most of the research that's out there on the flu vaccine and its efficacy, look who funds it. And it's the pharmaceutical companies who make the vaccine. For me, none of us get it. My father, who was sick with cancer at 63 and dying, I refused his flu shot then too. I could see that there's some data that supports people over the age of 65. Maybe they could get the flu shot, but I think if you're in good health and you are in sound mind and you know how to manage your health and take care of yourself, you don't need the flu shot. And for certain, if you're pregnant, you don't need the flu shot. What is the risk of getting it? So, Jamie, I think that's a good question. I think the risk is that you could get the flu from it. So that's the major risk. Also, what are the chemicals added to it? The toxins in that flu shot. So this is how vaccines work, just so you're very, very basic. It triggers, so you get the shot, and the shot has in it the flu, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, basically the flu substance. And so your body then says, oh, and reacts to it, and it creates these antibodies, AKA memory, to the flu. And so the next time you're exposed, the idea is that since your body has the memory, you might get the flu, but it'll be a much less severe case. Vaccinations are an incredible medical feat. I am by no means an anti-vaxxer. With my son, we vaccinated him, but we just did delay vaccinations and I spread them out over a period of time. That's just what felt right to my husband and I, and what I felt right based on my, research and my knowledge and my medical understanding. Not to say I didn't get pushback from people, but I did. And with my son, I will avoid getting a flu shot for him for as long as I possibly can. Luckily, I can get a medical consent, at his school and I don't have to get it, but not all schools are like that. So some parents just have to do it, and that really sucks. If you have to give your child a flu shot, for them to be able to go to school, I totally understand that and would never judge you. The things I would say to help support them then once they do get that shot is lots of cod liver oil, like a half a teaspoon, lots of rest, lots of water, vitamin D, probiotics, no sugar in their diet. If you can get some garlic into them, some pre and probiotic rich foods like homemade applesauce, sauerkraut if they like sauerkraut, beets, like fermented beets. Try to get some really good pre and probiotics into them. And, the day they get the shot, and I do this across the board when my son gets his vaccines, is just a day of rest. Like we try to just have it as low intensity as possible. And he always gets his shot of his cod liver oil, which I think is really important. But so that's how vaccines work. What we see in the general population is a lot of people who get the flu shot actually get symptoms. They get fever, they get chills, and the doctors will say that can be normal. Don't worry about it. And it's not necessarily normal. You shouldn't have a major reaction to a vaccine. If you do, you really then need to take it easy. But the other thing with the flu shot is that the viral strains change so quickly, especially in very populated areas or cities, like if you live in Manhattan, for instance, that the vaccine you're getting is from the strain that existed 6, 9, 12 months ago. So you're never going to be exposed to that strain because it changes so fast. So it's really ineffective and not worth your time. That's my general takeaway. And so the real risk is that you can get sick and that you're exposing yourself to toxins that you don't necessarily need to be exposed to, especially in pregnancy. The thing is with pregnancy, and this goes for the whooping cough vaccine, this goes for the flu shot, there is zilch clinical data to say whether it's effective or not, harmful or not. They have done no trials. So you're basically a guinea pig. And so for me, I refused all those shots in pregnancy. And I just said, no, my son will get his vaccines. I am healthy. For me, they tried to give me the flu shot in August. And I was like, dude, there's no freaking flu in August. I'm not going to take the flu shot. But listen, it's your body. It's your health. I understand the fear mongering that goes on, and people are like, people die from the flu, people that are severely compromised die from the flu. There have been some cases, of course, that we hear about because of the media. Here's the thing. If you choose not to vaccinate your child or yourself, and you get a really intense flu, get your ass to the doctor. Don't ignore your symptoms. That's how you could die. And that's very plain and simple. I know maybe I sound harsh, but don't ignore symptoms and don't take NyQuil and think it's just going to go away. If you have a really high fever and you've had a high fever for several days, get your butt to the doctor. Get treated right away. That's how you prevent death in a situation like that. But the flu shot is not going to prevent you from getting the flu. Here's the research. 2015 study that came out. The vaccine has no effect on transmission, meaning it does not prevent the flu. As I said, you need to give the vaccine to 71 people before you see effectiveness in one person. That's such a waste. The flu vaccine has not been shown to reduce hospitalizations for the flu. The flu vaccine has not been shown to reduce hospitalizations for the flu. Okay. And then also you look at who founded the studies that show efficacy, and it's often the companies that make the vaccines. So pregnancy, again, 0 studies to show effectiveness, harmfulness, anything. The risks, people who are over the age of 65. So people who are severely immunocompromised. I see one of the questions. What about a compromised immune system? Maybe, but it depends, because if you have a compromised immune system and you get the flu shot and you get the flu from the flu shot, it could kill you. So I think you really have to weigh it out. I would say it really depends on the case. Like, so for my dad, for instance, he had a stage 4 cancer. He was not well, and they wanted to do the flu shot. And to me, the cons outweighed the pros. I thought, well, if he gets the flu shot and he gets the flu from the flu shot, it's going to kill him like this week. If he doesn't get the flu shot, I think we have more time. His quality of life wasn't that compromised at that point. And if he gets the flu, I felt confident that I could treat it, you know, that he was doing his bone broth every day and taking his cod liver oil, and he was, you know, minimizing his exposure, right? But he was compromised too because he was at the hospital so much. So, you know, for every single person, I think that's a real individualized answer, to be honest. So I don't know the case enough to generally answer. I would just say you have to really sit and weigh out all the pros and cons. Okay, we are required to wear a mask at work at all times if we don't get it. Right, so that's, you're being bullied into getting it. So Mandy, I mean, I think you just have to decide what's right for you. Will it affect my chances of conceiving? Egg health. I mean, you know, you're gonna get 1 flu shot a year. If you do everything else by the books and you're super healthy otherwise, I don't think it's gonna impact your chances of conceiving, Mandy. So there's that. My husband got the flu shot the day before he gave a specimen for our IUI. Is there any study on the toxicity of the vaccine gets into the sperm? No, I don't. And I don't know the day before that it would really impact the sperm. It's more like maybe the next cycle it might impact. So I think you're, again, okay. Again, you know, I think taking this all with a grain of salt, like if I'm just talking about prevention, does the flu shot prevent flus? No. The research does not show that whatsoever. Does the flu shot prevent hospitalizations from the flu? No. The research does not show that. Is the flu shot safe for pregnant women? We don't know because there are 0 studies. So from the perspective of, do you need to get a flu shot because it's going to prevent the flu? The answer is no, it doesn't prevent the flu, so don't get it. So I think then we have to look at what can we do naturally to prevent ourselves from getting the flu to begin with, right? Okay, sorry, just one more question came in. My pregnancy with my daughter in September, my OBG said yes and gave it to me right away. Right, so just know that you have rights here, guys. You don't have to say yes to this. I've never gotten the shot, but I keep getting the flu, so I was considering it this year. Thank you for the advice. So, of course, Heather, you're welcome. Okay, so let's get into what can we do to prevent the flu? What can we do to keep our immune system up? What can we do to stay healthy? So I have 10 tips and 1 bonus tip. Wash your hands. Pretty obvious. Wash your hands regularly. I don't necessarily think you need antibacterial soaps. Just wash your hands regularly. Manage your stress. Stress affects the immune system fast and it's serious. Manage your stress. So meditate, journal, remove yourself from situations. Say no more than you say yes. Look out for you. Manage your stress. Take a probiotic every single day. Take a probiotic every single day or eat probiotic-rich foods. Get enough vitamin D. Make sure you have your vitamin D levels checked by your doctor. They should be between a 50 and a 70. If they're not, you should be taking upwards of 5,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. If your vitamin D is between a 50 and a 70, you take the maintenance dose of 2,000 IUs a day. Everybody should be taking vitamin D. Get enough sleep. Not enough sleep compromises the immune system, compromises your health on every single level. If you're trying to get pregnant, you need to be getting enough sleep. If you're trying to heal from any disease or optimize your health, you need to be getting enough sleep. Ideally, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, okay? Can you take more than 5,000 IUs of vitamin D? Yes, you can if your levels are really low. So if you're like a 30, 40, you can take 10,000. I would recommend, though, discussing with your healthcare practitioner about that when you go levels above 5,000. So I don't feel comfortable diagnosing or recommending that to you over, the internet. Garlic. Garlic is the best antiviral, antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, natural substance that exists. For me, the first sign of a cold, I just eat a piece of raw garlic. Doesn't taste awesome. Not everybody loves me. I don't really give a crap. I care more about my health than I do about whether or not people like me or want to be around me. So I will eat a raw garlic clove, or I'll do hot water and I dice up a garlic clove and I put that in the hot water and sip it like a tea. Add some raw honey, add a little ginger, add a little cayenne pepper if you want. Really, you can spice it up. In my first book, in Chill Out and Get Healthy, I have an awesome recipe for colds. Wonder what page it's on. I know I have all these things in the back of the book somewhere. Let's see. Thinning hair, dry scalp, battling the branch, that's what we call it. Let's see. Too hot, too cold, my aching head, headaches and hangovers, fighting a cold, being sick sucks. 241. So page 241 of this baby, Chill Out and Get Healthy. We're going back to 2009, guys. Use the neti pot, garlic. Avoid, so this is one of my other tips, avoid at all costs dairy, sugar, white flour, and wine. Drink water. This is one of my other tips. Take at least 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C 3 times a day. So if you're fighting a cold, vitamin C. I have a 9 vitamin D. I'm taking 10,000. I see him tomorrow if I can reduce it if labs improved. Yes, I think 10,000 for a 9 is really good. You could go upwards to like 100,000, but your doc needs to prescribe that. Yeah, shots of fire cider I think is great too. I think I have that in here. So steam your cold away. You can boil water, steam your face, gargle with salt water, honey. Raw honey is most important. And then this is my little concoction. Hot water with juice from half of a lemon, or you could do the fire cider in there. Slices of fresh ginger. Add in garlic clove and some raw honey. Okay, rest, take a probiotic, get acupuncture. The favorite thing I love is I wrote this book back in 2008. It's 2018. My recommendations are still the same. It's consistent. Age-old medicine doesn't change, guys. That's the thing too. Let's look at that. Don't follow people who change their recommendations all the time. The Western medical world, unfortunately, when it comes to things like the flu vaccine, they change their recommendations all the time. I love Western medicine. I'm a big fan of it. I support it. I have lots of friends who are doctors. I use it if I need it. We go to the doctor. We get our, we do everything we're supposed to do from a Western perspective. But, everything in moderation and use common sense here too. If the flu shot is not working, why would you get it? So, okay, I'm skipping around. My tips: wash your hands, manage your stress, take probiotics, vitamin D, rest, garlic, vitamin C. I said 2,000 milligrams a day. This is if you're fighting a cold, but you could just do it during flu season to just kind of up the ante, boost your immune system. Cod liver oil. So this could be interchanged with fish oil, fine. I'm a big fan of cod liver oil over fish oil because of the vitamin A and D that's naturally occurring in it. Great for the immune system. I personally take a teaspoon a day. If I feel like I'm getting sick, I take 2 teaspoons a day. If I was pregnant, I'd be taking 2 teaspoons a day. No sugar. No sugar. The very least, no more than 15 grams of added sugar a day. But if you are fighting a cold, or you feel under the weather, or you're paranoid about getting the flu, don't eat sugar. Drink bone broth every day. During cold and flu season, drink bone broth every single day. 6 to 8 ounces every single day. I make huge batches of it. We have it every day. We all have it in our house. And my kid, I either hide it in something or I make him this. He loves the butternut squash soup that I have a recipe for in Body Belief. He'll eat that every day. get your broth in every single day. You can add cloves of garlic to your broth if you want to do it that way. Bonus tip number 11, 3 cups at least of green vegetables every day. Cooked green vegetables every single day. That will help you fight off any colds or infections or flus and help you stay healthy, okay? So let's make sure I got to everybody's questions. I love you guys. I love all the questions and comments. Let's see. All right. So one last time. I am not an anti-vaxxer. I do think everything in moderation. I do think food is medicine, and I don't think a medicine that only works on 1 person out of 71 is not effective. It's not worth our time. The flu vaccine has not been shown to be effective. The flu vaccine has not been shown to reduce hospitalizations. And most of the studies that are pro-flu vaccine are funded by the very people who make the vaccine and who make money off the vaccine. I am a conspiracy theorist. As my husband says, it's not a conspiracy theory anymore because the conspiracies have been proven. They're not theories. This actually is happening. But like I said, I've been practicing for 15 years. I wrote 3 books. I've done a shit ton of research. You really start to think that, they're just out to get us sick so we can stay sicker and take more pills and all of these things. So that's my soapbox, but I'll get off of it so you guys don't think I'm too crazy. But, the more you know, sometimes the more you're like, oh, my goodness, this is crazy. So there's that. So let's see. Any other questions from you guys? I do believe I have, natural ways to fight a cold. Beth just posted it. Perfect. If you guys want the information again on my tips on how to fight a cold, go there. I'm going to go there right now myself because I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. And let's see. Any last questions, guys? I also have a post on the flu. Because it's an older one, Amy Ralph flu shot. I'm going to Google myself. Should I get the flu vaccine? I think I wrote this. I wrote it once and then I rewrote it again because people ask me every freaking year. So I'm going to post this one for you guys too. And you guys can read a little more details about whether or not what I think. And there's that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up because it's time. And I love you guys. I appreciate you joining me. If you want more of me or more ways to learn from me, check out any of my books. I have 3. Chill Out and Get Healthy. Yes, you can get pregnant. And Body Belief just came out. You can head over to my website, amyralph.com, join my mailing list so you get my monthly newsletters with tons of great information, and we always have deals and sales and promos going on. Check out my skincare line. It's all organic, handcrafted by me for you. It's pure enough to eat, so if you want to avoid chemicals and keep your liver healthy and clean and your body healthy and clean and your skin glowing, use Amy Ralph Beauty. It's a way to go. And until next week, I'll see you then. And if you guys have any ideas or anything you want to hear me talk about, message us, info@amyralph.com. Tell me what you want to hear me talk about, okay? Love you guys. I'll see you next week. You don't need the flu shot, so stay calm. Ciao.